Yes, AutoChief, new week, new car. Ghana, pay attention. It's your man, Dio Fair Japan. And I'm super excited to be back once again. Why? Because this week I've listened to the feedback. It said, AutoChief, yes, we love your content on ICs, internal combustion engines, but it's 2025. Give us something on EVs. Okay, I brought you something on the Cybertruck, but the comments, what I hear are bring us some content on the Chinese EVs. Everybody knows it's an open secret. They are taking over the EV space. It's serious. So I had to dig in, I had to do some research, and I'm excited to bring you what I would simply say is the cheapest and coolest car on the planet at the moment, the iCAR V23. And take it from me, in a year's time, in 2 years' time, that will be one of the cars that you're going to see a lot of in East Legon, airport, cantonments, wherever you see that the cool people in Accra and in Ghana are. So you're going to hear it first from here. I'm going to give you all the necessary information. Yes, so before we proceed to learn all about the iCar V23, it's important I give you some context about the Chinese and why and how they are taking over the EV space. And primarily there are about 4 reasons. So the 4 reasons are: one, sustained investments over many years. And these investments were made beginning in the early 2000s, where the Chinese, they invested a lot towards the EV space. And then second, the Chinese do not have any historical baggage as compared to the legacy car makers, who they are, in terms of the baggage that they have, is in the internal combustion engine space. Then third, the Chinese have an advantage because of their vertical integration. They make their own batteries, so they have an advantage because the batteries are what powers these electric vehicles. And the fourth reason is they have a focus on innovation. So with these 4 reasons, they are just giving the legacy car makers like a real beating. It's serious. Now that you know the reason and you understand why the Chinese are doing the wonders in the electric vehicle space, let's just admire a short video of the iCar V23 so you can see it's just good looking from the front. And many people always say that the Chinese copy other cars, but in this case, if you look at the front fascia, the front view, what the Chinese actually took inspiration from was from their own truck, their own SUV, a popular SUV in China, BAW212 or BJ212. And so it gives it a very unique front presence. Now let's look to the side. Just a beautiful car by all means. The side profile is just iconic. It's just beautiful. And this is the reason why many people are crazy about this machine. And when I get to the price, I mean, you saw in the teaser the 16,000 US dollars. It has what you call presence. It's a beautiful car. Look at this side view as well. Look at the wheels. This is even the stock wheels, which is 19-inch, and it comes with alloys but blacked out, so it really looks very different. And there are some angles that it looks like a G-Wagon. That can never hurt, because the G-Wagon is literally the most important real SUV on the planet in terms of status. Now let's move on and admire some interior pictures. If you look at this interior, you'll be surprised. I mean, in fact, you'll be shocked that this vehicle, with the exterior that I showed you and with this interior, someone can make such a vehicle. And it's not just a regular vehicle, an SUV, which is bigger than the Suzuki Jimny, and still start the price from only $16,000. So let's continue to watch more interior pictures. See, the good thing is that because it's big, I mean bigger than the Suzuki Jimny, and I'm using the Jimny as a reference is because that's a car you already know, you've seen it. So when you see this in video, you might be tempted to think that it's the same size as the Jimny, but it's not. Because of that, straight from the manufacturer, it can seat 5 people. So it's not a 4-seater, it's a 5-seater. Let's continue to admire some more interior pictures. Woo! And you see, here is where the Chinese separate themselves from the rest. And that's what I mentioned to you. A focus on innovation. Look at the steering wheel. Classy. It's just classy. Two-tone. But let's move away from the steering wheel and go to the 15.4 inch screen. That's a computer screen. And it's not just any computer screen. It's powered by the Qualcomm. Let me take my time. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 8155 chipset. That's a computer. So they're giving all that to you. Look at these buttons. Physical buttons 1, 2, 3, 4. It's classy. It's classy. I mean, I'm telling you, when you finish watching this, just try making your money ready and send in the orders. AutoChief, I'll have all the solutions for you. So I'll put my email down there. Send me the request. I have contacts in China. So when I'm showing you price, I'm not going to just show you even manufacturer's suggested retail price, which is always suggestive. I'm going to actually give you the FOB price, free on board price. So that's essentially invoice. All right. In fact, the interior is something else. Okay. So now I've shown you the exterior. I've shown you the interior. It's okay. But I need to let you know the prices and the specifications. So that's what I'm going to delve into. Yes. So before I show you the prices of the 2025 iCAR V23, I want you to have a good frame of the advantage, the huge price advantage that the Chinese are having on these EVs. Why? Because even according to the CEO of Stellantis, the company that makes this Fiat 500, the Chinese have an unfair advantage of about 30% lower price. Why? Because they make their own, most of them make their own batteries. And that's what I also mentioned about vertical integration. So they make the batteries and they're able to control the price of the eventual vehicle that comes out. And when you take a legacy brand like Fiat from the Stellantis group, they don't have that advantage because what they have always been making for hundreds of years have been internal combustion engines. Right, now let's get to it. So here you have a 2025 Fiat 500e. That's the electric version. And what's the asking price? The asking price for the Fiat 500e, the electric version, is $32,495 US. And so they go all the way to $37,495 US. And so just take a moment and take the price in. Now after this is where I'm going to show you the price of the, so as you can see, the pricing and which one to buy from my reliable source, Car and Driver. The base model is $32,495, and then the Giorgio Armani top of the range is $37,495 US. So now, and watch, here's what I told you that the Chinese, the advantage is huge. This one gives you a 10.3 inch infotainment display. Don't forget, I told you that the iCAR V23 has a standard 15.4 inch screen powered by the Snapdragon 8155. So the advantage in terms of the innovation, the Chinese EVs have it. Now let's move straight away to show you the prices of the iCAR V23. Yes, so as you can see on the screen, 2025 iCAR V23 trims and pricing in China. And so these prices are not something that I picked on the internet. These prices are coming from my sources in China. So these are FOB price. Essentially, these are invoice prices. So they are very reliable prices. And now let's go through the trims. So there are five trims for the iCAR V23. And the first trim is the Youth Edition. And what do you get with that? That comes with a range of 301 kilometers. And it's also two-wheel drive. It's powered from the back, not the front wheel. And let's look at the price. The price is $16,282 US. And when you think about 301 kilometers, you are how can I know that distance? The distance from Accra to Kumasi is less than 301 kilometers. So that gives you an idea that on a full charge, the base model of the iCAR V23 can take you from Accra to Kumasi. So that gives you some perspective. Now we move on to the second trim, which says Advanced Edition. And what does that one give you? That one gives you even more range. And the range is 401 kilometers. So that in fact, that one will take you to Kumasi from Accra, and you still be able to drive around before you put it on charge. So that's very impressive. And for that, what's the price? It's only 17,767. Then we move on to the third trim, which is the Advanced Intelligent Driving Edition. That also has a range of 401 kilometers. So same with the first one. But the only thing is that this one is Intelligent Driving Edition, so it has more features. And what's the price? That's still under 20,000 US. So the price is 19,251 US. Now we move into the high spec area, which is the high-end edition. What does the high-end edition come with? It comes with a range of 501 kilometers. So I told you, like, going to Kumasi is going to be effortless, no matter the driving conditions. And when you get there, you drive for days before you proceed to charge. Very, very impressive. And what's the price? The price is 22,221 US. Now coming to the ultimate, the full spec, what Ghanaians would like to say, fully loaded. We get to the high-end Intelligent Driving Edition. That's the one that comes with all the bells and whistles, all these modern park assist features, all those technological features. And for all that, what's the price? You're going to only pay $23,706 US. You see, and keep this price in mind. Don't forget, when we're looking at the price of the Fiat 500e, which is only a small vehicle, it's not an SUV like this, small vehicle, the starting price was 32,000 US. So this tells you that this supreme iCAR V23, you are having it for cheap, especially when you are buying straight from China. And I like the name iCAR V23. So for me, nobody can convince me that when it comes into the foreign market, it should have a name like JQ. I'm not interested in any JQ. I like the one which is iCAR. It's cool. Even that name is cool. So what am I telling you? Before I move into other specs, I'm telling you that if you've watched the video up to this point and you are interested, just look at my email there, send me an email, and I can order one of these for you. And I'll give specifications in terms of the cost to import in my next video. So yes, let's proceed to the other specs. Yes, so let's examine the specs. I've already taken you through the range, and this is on the Chinese CLTC cycle. So I've already mentioned 301 kilometers as the range, all the way to 501 kilometers range. Now let's examine the battery capacity. So in terms of battery capacity, the base model has a capacity of 47.3 kilowatts battery. Then you move to the advanced, which has a 59.9 kilowatt hour battery. Then you also have advanced driving edition that has a 59.9 kilowatt hour battery. Then you move to the high-end edition that has 81.8. Then you same for the one with the intelligent driving edition. Then we move to, this is very important also, we move to the charging, DC charging. And when we say DC charging, we are talking about fast charging. How long does it take to charge? And for all of them, when you are doing fast charging, it's 30 minutes. And you go from 30% to 80% just in 30 minutes. And then now let's talk power. So the total horsepower for the models that are two-wheel, they are 134 horsepower. And then for the four-wheel version, that has 208 horsepower. Some other people have reported it to be 211. So that's how come you have those two figures. Now let's mention torque. For torque, we are looking at 180 for the two-wheel versions. And then we are looking at 292 for the four-wheel versions. So yes, that's okay. Let's examine the drive type. So in terms of a drive type, the Youth Edition, as you see two-wheel drive, it means the power is coming from the back. So it's not front wheel, it's rear wheel drive. And that the same for all the two-wheel versions. So that's why you see the drive type is rear driven. But when you get to the four-wheel drive, the power is it comes from all wheels, all the four wheels. And so let's examine number of electric motors. For the two-wheel versions, you have a single motor just bringing the power from the back of the car, the rear. And that applies for these three models. And then, as I told you, for the four-wheel drive, the front are powered. That's why you see dual. So dual power from the back and also from the front. Now let's examine in-car chipset. I've mentioned that, but I'm so excited about that. The fact that they put that particular chipset in there. So what's the chipset? Qualcomm Snapdragon 8155, and that's a stock. So that's standard in every iCAR V23 that you're going to buy. When we move to suspension, also major suspension, McPherson independent suspension in the front, and the rear suspension multi-link independent suspension. You see, so proper suspension for this machine. So be excited about it. Now, before we go, I also need you to appreciate the difference in size between iCAR V23 and let's say a Suzuki Jimny, because I've been mentioning that car a lot. So let's keep that one as our last slide, and then at least I want you to be able to frame and know, yes, the difference in dimensions. So there you have it, comparing the iCAR V23 to a Suzuki Jimny. So in terms of length, the iCAR V23 has a length of 4.2 meters. And if you take the Suzuki Jimny, that only has a 3.6 meters length. Even if you take the 4-door, or let's say 5-door, because most of the Suzuki Jimnys are 3-door, two driver, passenger, and then the back. So the 5-door version, that's supposed to be a bit bigger. That even has dimensions of 3.9 meters. So still significantly smaller than the iCAR V23. In terms of height, the iCAR V23 has a height of 1.8 meters. And if you compare it to the Jimny has a 1.7 meters height. So it's not really a tall car. And if you look at width, once again, the iCAR wins is 1.9 meters. Whereas the Suzuki Jimny is only 1.6 meters. And let's examine wheelbase. When you take wheelbase, iCAR is 2.7 meters and the Suzuki Jimny is only 2.2 meters. And here is where I really got excited, but here is where the vehicle stance comes from the wheel size. The iCAR V23, even the stock, the base model, it comes with 19-inch rims and wheels. So 19-inch wheels, that's the stock. And if you get to the big boy, the 4-wheel drive type, there you are going to get 21-inch wheels. Compare that one to the Suzuki Jimny, which only gives you 15-inch wheels. So that tells you that the iCAR V23 is significantly bigger than the Suzuki Jimny. And so I hope by this I've been able to introduce you to the coolest and the cheapest SUV on the planet. And I'll follow up with the cost to import so that you can begin your orders. I'm excited that I was able to bring you this because I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks, but finally I was able to put the document together. So I can't go without bigging up my video director. I appreciate all your work. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. And if you are not already a subscriber, this is the point where you subscribe. But also don't forget to like the content because it helps YouTube to push the content to many more people who may find it valuable. And also comment. It helps me a lot. Let me see the engagement rate. And the bell notification icon also do hit on that. So until next video, when I see you, I say Medasi.